of the country's most interesting zoos. Here we find the wolf in his natural setting. Next, a pack of camels. A North American greyhound. And here, 2 bucks and 5 cents. And here, 2 friendly elks. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
No zoo would be complete without a monkey cage.
Hey, sister! Can't you read?
Mother Nature's own weatherman, the little groundhog, and his shadow. Over here, we find... Hey there, fella. Hey, don't annoy that lion. It's dangerous. Can't you read that sign? You'd better take my advice and leave him alone. Shame, shame. You're a bad boy. The skunk cage is always a center of interest. Well, we're lucky. It's feeding time for the giraffe. Listen now, fella. This is the second time I've had to speak to you. Leave that lion alone. I'm warning you.
I'm a bad boy.
And here we come to a family of white rabbits. Of course, you all know how fast they multiply. Now, over here in the birdhouse, we find the wise old owl.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes.
Ooh.
An interesting bird is the South African talking parrot. Polly, want a cracker? I said, Polly, want a cracker?
Nah, give me a short beer.
Another interesting bird is the Alcatraz jailbird.
I didn't do it, I tell you. Okay, I was framed, see? Yeah, I'm innocent. I want to see the DA. They can't do this to me, see? They can't hang this on me. I didn't do it, I tell you. I didn't do it, I tell you.
Oh, he did so do it. I saw him with my very own eyes. So there.
Over here, we find Mother Ostrich on her nest. Well, you do have something to crow about. Look out, look out. Well, a jackpot. For the last time, you'd better stop annoying that lion if you know what's good for you.
I'm a bad boy.
New to the zoo is an elephant, just in from Africa.
Hello, Express Company. This is Joe Jumbo. We'll send it up right away. You know, those guys have had my trunk for a week.
And here we have, well, these are some things we had left over from that last New Year's party. Pacing back and forth in their cage, we find two restless panthers. Bread and butter, 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 bread and butter. Well, here we have J. Wellington Buttonhook. Mr. Buttonhook used to thrill thousands at the circus by putting his head in a lion's mouth. In this cage, we find the Rocky Mountain Wildcat. Hey, Bud, hey, just a minute, Bud. Tell me, just what made you wild?
What made me wild? What made me wild? Well, I'll tell you. They called my name out at bank night, and I wasn't there.
Well, I guess that little fella finally took my advice and went home.
I'm a bad boy.
And behold, we are back with more Saints Row in just a moment. Or possibly two. Yeah. Because I am incredibly professional and amazingly good at my job. Yes, indeed. Alright, so welcome to today's Saints Row Sunday. Yay! Kermit Arms, yay! Powered by gentlemen with their very cool logo. Alrighty, so let's see here. Let me actually absolutely be sure that we are where we need to be on this. Now, as you recall, in our last episode of the Brown Hornet, I was about to... Oh, 4,000. Nice. I was about to continue with the Ronin story arc. Holy crap!
And a good day to you.
Indeed. Holy smokes. But there's a few things that need to happen first. First off, I have been dealing with the plain brown wrapper here just a little bit too long. So let's do something about that, shall we? I want to say it's one of these two that I think. Let's find out. Yeah, I have to tell you, after dealing with Hail to the King and then freaking Shadow the Hedgehog, dude, I'm playing a game with a camera that works. Seriously, I would have mentioned this before, but every time I've tried, I think I started crying. This is just so cool. I can actually see what I'm doing. I can't drive worth a tinker's damn, but I can see the fact that I can't drive. It's so awesome. It's so beautiful. Ah, my turn. Yeah, by the way, if you hear somebody talking about how the other drivers are driving like they're trying to take back the road, it's not a compliment. Yeah, generally, if I see an NPC, yeah, Isaac had not seen an NPC do that before. I've seen some do that before, but they were specifically dressed up, obviously, as street performers. That person, at a glance at least, seemed to be one of the sons of Samdi. And I'm kind of like, okay, so, you know, insisting on doing horrible things to the citizenry? No. You know, trying to edge me out of my city? Probably not. But, fire breathing? You're gonna do fire breathing. Yeah, okay, you can stay. Oh, what kind of rim size do I want? That one looks good. Wheel size. Yeah, with really wide. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then roof lights. No, that just gives more lights. That's no good. Okay. Oh, baby, here we go. Yeah. Isaac, as previously stated, very impolite to inflict them on you back to back. Well, okay, I'll admit to a certain degree of trauma, but, you know, we're cool. I know that there was no malice in it. Yeah, American flag with the hippie stuff. Maybe. What's decal number 3? Decal number 2, just, oh yeah. Oh yeah, is that not gorgeous? Ha. I think I will stick. Yeah, for now I think I will stick with just the hippie design though. Spare tires. Yeah, there we are. Body color. I don't know that that's going to affect anything, but let's go ahead and say matte paint. You know, royal purple, which affects very little, but trim color. Metal. Gold. Rim color. Metal. Gold. The tinted windows. Or, you know what? Yeah. Let's do that. An interior color. You know what? The blood doesn't show as bad on Kabuki, so let's do that. Okay. Exit vehicle customization. And save. In the name of all that is holy, save. Yeah, groovy, baby, yeah. You know what? Actually, let's go ahead. I think the time has come for a serious adjustment, man. Ah. But notice the camera kept on me. Of this. Ah. Well, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. That was my fault. You didn't deserve that. But I avoided killing any pedestrians so far today. I like to think that counts for something. So you may be wondering, well, Coyote, I mean, you have turned what was a plain brown wrapper microbus into a bona fide love machine. What could you possibly be following this up with? Well, I'll show you. Because there's absolutely no reason to do anything halfway. Ah, wait, how do I run? That's how I run. Run. Hey, hey, with a monkey. People say we monkey around. We're too busy singing. Put anybody down. Okay, so let's see. First off, vote. Just kind of get everything back to the default where I'd had it there. There we go. I'm gonna get some new duds too. I'm gonna do this right, man. I'm gonna do all the right. Which one is jump? Is that jump? That's jump. Not that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that's good, because no, not feeling it today. But yeah, there we go, man. Too bad they don't have a peace sign available, but they don't. That's close though. Need to take out. Eat the tab. Okay, so this one's tempting, but yeah. And so the new gang sign is token. Oh, yeah, we're not doing the nudist crew, though. Although, I mean, whatever, man. You just do whatever feels good. So, that didn't seem to work very well. Maybe it just takes a moment. I'll give it some time. Such a cool statue. Because, it's a mod. It may not work perfectly all the time. Oh, they added the newspaper clipboard. That is very nice. But, while I'm here, man, actually, while I think of it, and Not sure when I got those, actually. That looks good. Nope, nope, nope. I mean, where item. I don't remember getting that either.
If Ultor was really cool, they bring a pro ball team to Stillwater.
I need different under. But alright, man. You know, you just do whatever feels right. You just gotta do you, man. Oh yeah, we totally need Pimp Cane, man. Then I found mod. Did I not say mod? I meant mod. Anyway. So, okay, man. We're just about ready to get this party started, man. So, do this right. I've seen them on the corner, big black Bible in hand, preaching to the people to hear the words of the Lord. And it's this: you're just a filthy sinner, man. Whoops. You can't save yourself, but Jesus can. And then you too can be an angel with a sword. Smite the unrighteous, make Jesus your goal, sell them your soul, go throw your mind down the nearest hole. And the Lord Christ Jesus will save you from the devil and sin. The Lord Marx Lenin will save you from the chairman of the board. The Lord Smack Needle will save you from the pains of life. But who will come and save you from your Lord? Alright, let's see what we got here. Color. I'm partial to black t-shirts personally, but I might change my mind. Let's see here. Logos. Let's actually take a minute. Daft Punk. Awesome. No, I'm really not into having other people on my shirts most of the time. The main exception is Loki, just because Loki is awesome. And even then, he generally needs to be doing something really cool. But, yeah, imagine me as a Green Lantern. Let's see here. Maybe. Ha! Maybe. Daft Black. Oh, Black Dynamite. That's a temptation. Yeah, I was hoping to find like just a good old-fashioned peace sign. And oh, the great one, Bob Dobbs. Oh, that is a temptation. Oh, that might have to happen actually. Yeah, car 54 should be in my garage. And the cane, as Isaac points out, the cane may be buyable somewhere. I just haven't seen it yet. Is there a peace sign, though? Seriously. They have every other freaking thing under the sun. doink, but no peace sign. Or it might be they had one and I just didn't see it. That happens sometimes. But I'm not seeing it. It may be that it quietly got covered up by something else. Okay. Well, that's fine. Well, I'm thinking, what if... Yeah, that actually shows up much better. So, yeah, all right, under the circumstances, doing the white t-shirt. I don't usually, but this is a special occasion. Yeah, there are so many great references that they added. Absolutely. Now, that's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time. Yes, indeed. All right. So, do I need new underwear? You do get to see more of my butt this way. No, I want you to respect me. I'll eventually get some boxers, I think. Oh, there's a thing happening. Southern Cross under attack. Oh no. Let's see, where the heck is that anyway? Yeah, every now and then there's pushback. There's a gang will be trying to take back an area that they lost. Which, you know, you can't really blame them for, except for the fact that they're generally pigs. So, off I go to save the day, or possibly destroy it, depending on what point of view you're into. I mean, it's all relative. A normal day at the office for the spider is chaos and destruction to the fly. But anyway, I've seen them on the corners, tiny red book in hand, preaching in the name of the people while the people pass by, not giving a damn. Filthy bourgeois, no right to live. The only way to be saved is give. Let your commissar tell you how to live and die out of the book. Then we'll forge ahead, righteous and red. If anyone argues, we cut 'em dead. And the Lord Christ Jesus will save you from the devil and sin. The Lord Marx Lenin will save you from the chairman of the board. Easy does it. The Lord Smack Needle will save you from the pains of life. Just teasing. But who will come and save you from your Lord? Speak. I've seen 'em on the corners, tiny white packet in hand, grooving through their needles and taking their God in vain, or maybe skin popping. Filthy sinner salvation's here. No more suffering, no more fear. Lay down your money and wipe the world from your brain. Down to basics. We don't preach a creed. We know what you need. You want to forget how much you bleed. And the Lord Christ Jesus will save you from the devil and sin. The Lord Marx Lenin will save you from the pains of life. The Lord Smack Needle will. Oh, I lost track of where I was. Save you from the chairman of the board. The Lord Smack Needle will save you from the pains of life. But who will come and save you from? Who will come and save you? Who will come and save you from your Lord? Law-abiding citizen. And there's kind of a contrast here, I suppose. It could be argued. But at the same time, I mean, the question is a valid one. One of the great questions in this game overall is kind of, look, man, who's going to save you from the people who are saying that they're here to save you? You know, when the cops are just another gang, and then you have a street gang formed, ouch! Specifically to try to save the city from street gangs. And it's trying to do it by doing a bunch of gangster crap. Do we really need to destroy the village in order to save it? Really?
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling my hippie soul on this one. So, today we're going to be doing more on the Ronin. And I just filled out my respect meter, so this is a perfect time to do exactly that. Assuming that I can get there without wrecking my new love machine. Or without other people helping me to wreck my new love machine. Let's go up here and see what happens. Oh yeah, I know where this place is. Yeah, this looks familiar. Yeah, check this out. They've got everything here. Kind of like driving through a mall. So, alright. Oh, let's see now. We need missions. Now, see, there's one for the Brotherhood. There's one for the Sons of Samdi. Ah, there we are. It was hiding from me. Yeah, the Brotherhood doesn't like me right now, but they'll get over it. They always do. In this particular near-future dystopia, people's attention spans are somehow even shorter than they are in our world. And I'm not sure how they managed that, but they obviously did. Dude, my van is smoking. And not just in a good way. But that's okay. What's a few thrown rods between friends, right? Yeah, there's a lot of safety features that just aren't a part of this world. It's kind of like how in the Star Wars universe, they have some of the highest technology around, but they don't have railings at all. Here, they don't have seatbelts. They only rarely have rear view mirrors, which is kind of odd because, I mean, this is a world where everything is innuendo. You have, you know, a club called TNA. You have, or a pear place called Rim Jobs. And somehow they neglected the seatbelts. I'm not sure how they did that. Can I fit? Can I fit?
Totally like.
Oh yeah, dude. Isaac, you just do whatever you need to do, man. None of this would be possible without you. If you need to doze off a little, you just do whatever, man. But dude, seatbelts, adjusting mirrors. I mean, I've helped a few people learn how to drive, and the way that I explained it to them, it's kind of like when your girlfriend wants to try a strap-on dildo for the first time. Because first you need to make sure that everything is strapped on and secure properly. And then you need to prepare yourself to make a lot of very serious adjustments. But the end result is probably going to be okay. And the same is true with when you first get into a vehicle. You strap in, and then you adjust the mirrors. So, you know, say what you will about the analogy, it remains, none of them ever forgot that. So I'm not sure what's happening with the picture here. It's like the rain is just... The rain is hitting everything. And suddenly everything is terrible. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Is first, I'm going to back up here, because most of the vehicles in this game are... The body is made out of pure explodium. And so if it gets too badly damaged, it'll just blow up. So first order of business, I'm bailing out. So once that's done, I'm gonna save. Eventually. There we go. Yeah, everything is responding more slowly than it should. Yeah, I think I want to overwrite that save. Then I will load that same game. Yeah, I never specified. That's a very good point, Eric. And that was very deliberate. Far be it from me to say that somebody else's life choices have to be in a certain way. Yeah, can you check the battery level on the controller? Actually, I have it plugged into a power strip. So it's constantly being force-fed power. The problem just seems to be that we have frozen for the moment. And hopefully that is a thing that is straightened out. There we go. Now it's loading up. Yeah, because this is the scene I want to keep revisiting. Shogo being an absolute punk brat. Having his second-in-command have to watch him get a BJ. Yeah, that's... he's horrible. Well, it says it's loading. Once it finishes with that, we'll know whether to continue or, as Isaac points out, just close the game and relaunch it. Oh, yeah, we're looking at closing the game, aren't we? Yes, we are. Got to close that game. Yes, you do. Well, Shogo is definitely up there with among the worst RE fan. I would still say that Jessica is actually the worst. Okay, so I can control the camera. There we go. Options, please. Options. Can we go to options? Now? Later? Soon? Come on, game. Get over to options. I'll give you special time with Shogo. There we go. Yeah, you can do it all the way down. I super believe in you. One more. One more. Come on. One more time. One more time. Yes! Ha 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 ha! Well done. Okay. Yeah, Shogo heard me talking smack about him. But it's okay. He'll get his. Yeah, even the menu is slow to respond. So I'm going to actually edit? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to exit the game and then restart the whole game. Because, little known fact, way, way back around the turn of the century, I got certified in computer installation and repair. I was all A+ and ready to go and stuff. And to give you an idea on how far back that 22, 23 years at this point is in technology, they were just talking about this new piece of hardware that was going to completely revolutionize accessibility and storage of data called the Universal Serial Bus, what we call the USB. And even back then, it was commonly understood that, yes, in fact, sometimes things just happen and you just restart it, and hopefully everything is cool when you do. Not everything that a computer does follows the laws of logic or sanity. So, yeah, I think in the future we may experiment with maybe some fans on the computer or something, make it more comfy. Because it's, wow. It's, bless its heart, it's doing its best. So we're going to experiment with a few things here, see if we can get this to roll. Here, you can do it. I know you can. Yeah, can we just kind of have kind of a text chant just encouraging this poor dear, because she is trying her best on this. So there I was, taking an enthusiastic walk through the woods. What things? You don't do things. So I'm going to tell you a story about this one time that I was stopped by the cops. This happened, oh geez, I guess it had been close to 25 years ago. It was just after the Oklahoma City bombing. And you have to understand, I was a performer with a swordplay troupe during that time period. And so I was driving a pickup truck with one of those covers over it for a friend of mine. And he was in the passenger seat. We were tooling around. It was rather late at night. It was about 3 in the morning. We had just finished taking care of some business. I'm not going to go into what that business was. That's a whole different story. But we were on our way home. And the two things I need you to bear in mind are, one, earlier that day, we just finished going to the grocery store. And two, Renaissance Fair performers, combat stage performers. 3, it was maybe a couple of weeks after the Oklahoma City bombings. Now, if you are young enough that you're not sure what that was, or what the implications of it were at that time, you can look it up online. But basically, at that time, people were talking about it the way that people were talking about 9/11 when 9/11 happened. It was a very big deal, except that in that case, it wasn't a foreign terrorist. It was a domestic terrorist. It was a white supremacist named, I think it was Timothy McVeigh. So we were tooling along, and it was, I don't know, maybe about 3 in the morning, which is a nice, comfortable time of day for me. And all of a sudden, the world turns red and blue, and we were getting pulled over by the cops. So I pull over. Now, I was dressed in what at that point in time was the height of my personal Coyote fashion. I was wearing a lot of torn black denim, my tattoos, of course. I had a black leather jacket with a torn up black denim vest over that. Sunglasses, of course, my hat. Now, my friend who actually owned this vehicle was a younger gentleman. I think he was about 18 at the time, and I was in my 20s. And he had been performing that day at the Renaissance Festival, but he had not changed out of his garb. So I'm just going to summarize his particular personal fashion for that moment and say he looked like Robin Hood, with an amazingly bad sunburn. So the cops come up, and they kind of take a look at us and like, yeah, okay, this is a thing that's happening. And I say, what I hoped was an encouraging tone, good afternoon or evening, officer, can I help you? And he's like, yeah, do you know why we pulled you over? I said, actually, no. Well, you have a broken tail light. You're going to need to get that fixed. Like, okay, well, cool. Thanks for letting us know. Do you have any weapons in the vehicle? Why, yes, in fact, because we were carrying around the entire medieval Renaissance arsenal for our performance troupe. So we pointed out, yeah, we have about 24 swords, several claymores, a couple of halberds, 5 or 6 spears, a variety of daggers, several flails, a couple of mace and chains, 2 or 3 morning stars. And they're just staring at me. And finally one of them said, so, claymore, halberd, are those guns? And I said, again, trying to be cool and patient at this point, no, officer, those are not guns. Those are legal medieval weaponry. So it is a weapon. Yeah, they're all weapons. None of them are sharp. We use them as performing props, but they are weapons. So also there's a bodice dagger here hanging from the rear view mirror, and each of us have knives on our persons, just, because we were performing earlier today and it didn't occur to us to get rid of them. Now, the bodice dagger is, just a quick little sidebar, is a beautiful thing. It looks like a long amulet of your choice of color, usually between 4 and 6 inches long, with some ornate wire work wrapped around it. But in actuality, what it is, if you grab the bottom of it and give it a good tug, it unsheaths. There's a 2.5-inch razor-sharp blade in there, specifically designed so that a lady can bury that in the leg of her assailant. With a quick twist, it breaks off in the wound, and then she can run like hell while he's screaming and grabbing at his leg and the piece of metal that's stuck in his leg. Now, this accomplishes several things. One, of course, it may save the lady's life. Two, the guy has a piece of metal in his leg that now has to be usually removed, which makes it easy to find him later. And, of course, the people who were making the stickers, I don't know if they're still in business, but I hope they are, you mail them in the broken device and they will very happily replace it with a new one with a new blade because it did exactly what it was supposed to do. So it's a low-tech, easily concealed, easily accessible, hard to recognize anti-rape device, and it's lovely. So we also had one of those hanging from the rear view mirror, and we pointed out, yeah, technically that's a weapon, but it's like the blade is 2.5 inches long, and outside of being an anti-rape device, it's basically useless. And it's one of the few sharp blades you're going to find. And they were like, okay, well, please understand, we're not trying to be tools about this. However, when we ask you if you have any weapons in the vehicle, you answer with an enthusiastic and even giddy yes, and then give us an alphabetical list off the top of your head. We have to search the vehicle. We can't get around that. So we're like, yeah, okay, we understand that. So we both get out of the vehicle, and we're like, do you need to, have us in a particular place or in stands or handcuffs? Like, no, just be in front of your vehicle with the lights on so that we can see you, but you can't see us. Face away from the vehicle, and we'll do our search, and then all will be fine. And so we did that. And we're standing there, and I suddenly remember two very important things. Actually, several important things. One, of course, oh, wait a minute, this is like 2 weeks after the Oklahoma City bombing. The second thing I remembered was that one of the things in back that I hadn't mentioned, because I'd forgotten it existed, a friend of mine had loaned me a copy of a book called The Anarchist's Cookbook. Which is, among other things, a guide to making improvised explosive devices. The third thing I remembered is that in addition to the various blades we had back there, we also had a bunch of duct tape, PVC pipe, powdered sugar, distilled water, steel wool, and a variety of other things that cookbook specifically calls for in making explosive devices. 2 weeks after the Oklahoma City bombing. And I just start laughing. And my friend looks at me and is like, well, what's so funny? And I told him. And then he starts laughing. And in the words of that great author who brought us The Great Shark Hunt and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I knew I was fucked. Forgive my language, but there is no other perfect synonym for that particular point in time. And we're laughing. And we must have been there just laughing like a couple of goons for like 10 minutes. Meanwhile, these cops are just searching every inch of that truck. And we're like, okay, so when they arrest us, we're going to want to get the bottom bunk because that way the light isn't shining in our eyes. We're going to be very polite to these people. We need to understand that it is entirely possible that when they come and interact with us again, they may have stress. And this is reasonable, and we need to be understanding and compassionate about this. We need to be supportive of the difficulties that they are facing. So they're eventually like, okay, gentlemen, you can come back now. And we kind of look at each other. Okay, this is it. And so we walk back. And so we've been laughing. And we look at them and we realize they have also been laughing. But they're very diligently keeping that straight face. Like, okay, gentlemen, well, we didn't find anything, ... And he paused and said, illegal. So, we appreciate your patience. We're going to let you off with a warning. You said that you were heading home to get some sleep. I said, yes, that's exactly where we were going. Is where you were going home and sleeping within this county? No. And his shoulders kind of sagged with relief, like, oh, thank God, because he realized I was quickly about to become no longer his problem. And it occurred to me, I'll bet he doesn't even know what the paperwork would be if he brought us in for all this, much less how to fill it out. And so with great relief, he said, okay, move all of your weapons, all of it, everything to the back of the vehicle. We'll let you off with a warning. You go home, get some sleep, get the taillight fixed. I said, okay, well, officer, since it's a taillight and that's kind of obvious, could I have a receipt for this encounter? You know, so that if I run into a police officer between then and now, I can go ahead and say I've already been warned, I'm on it. And he said yes. Now, at that point in time, they would actually fill out a small writ and hand it to you. You could hand it to another cop. Yeah, I've already talked to somebody, I'm on it. So we moved everything to the back, got in, tooling along down the highway, still laughing, and we're just like, okay, well, that was a thing that almost happened. Let's go ahead and go. And then the world turns red and blue again. Almost the nanosecond we go into the next county. And we look at each other. And I think to myself, oh, why not? Many a fine book has been written from prison. So I pull over. And the next cop comes up. And fortunately for me, the police officer in question was a female. Now, I've had more than my fair share of bad encounters with cops who completely thought that it was their turn to, shall we say, take back the row. But I have never had a problem with a female police officer decide that she needed to be a bully or that she needed to antagonize me or physically torment me in some fashion. So I'm like, oh, thank you. You're not going to try to beat me to death with your penis. And I opened the door slightly. I neglected to mention before, but the driver's side window of this truck was broken. So I say in a loud voice, I need to open the door slightly so that you can hear me because the window is broken. And she said, okay, took a step back. And I opened the door just a tiny little bit so she can hear me. And she says, do you know why I pulled you over? I said, yeah, we have a broken tail light. I've already talked to somebody about it. I have a receipt for this. And I'm on my way home, and then we're going to get this taken care of as quickly as possible. She says, okay, well, that's fine then. Go ahead and hand me the receipt if you could. And I'll look it over. Do you have any weapons in the vehicle? I said, yes. And I can tell you all about them if you like, but they're all in the back. She said, okay, that's fine. Just hand me the receipt, please. I opened the door a little wider to hand her the receipt. And something falls out of the truck. Something that we had missed when we were transferring weapons. Right after I had just finished assuring this lovely young lady that we had all of our weapons in the back. Now, if you don't know what an Arkansas toothpick is, an Arkansas toothpick is basically the United States southern states equivalent to, say, a gladius. It's basically a knife that wants to be a short sword. And it has, this one in question had kind of a broomstick handle. Very, very well polished, well maintained, very sharp looking. And it just fell right at her feet. Understand, it did not have a sheath. It was just this shameless, bare-ass, naked blade lying in her feet, reflecting the red and blue from the flashers on top of her vehicle. And I looked down at that, and I looked up at her, and I looked down at the blade again, And I looked up at her, and I said, we might have missed one. And her chest is shaking from the effort involved in not laughing out loud. But she is doing her best, and she finally manages to say, with an almost straight face, glances at the receipt, well, I know Officer Squain personally. He's a very thorough individual. If he's already gone over your vehicle, I'm sure, she looks down at the knife and looks back up to me, that there's nothing that I need to be concerned about in your vehicle, is there? I said, no, ma'am. And I look down at the knife that is distinctly not in the vehicle right now, and I say, no, there isn't. Not at the moment. And she said, okay, would you go ahead while I'm watching and just pick that up? I'll take a step back. You pick that up. You put that in the back of your truck, please. Why, yes, officer. I'd be happy to do that. And thank you for this magnanimous break that you're offering me. And I picked up the knife with 2 fingers so that there's no chance that she would feel at all threatened by little old me. I put it in the back. And she, still struggling to keep a straight face, tells me that I can go home. And she goes back to her vehicle and turns off her lights so that I can see the silhouette of her head lowered down to rest on the steering wheel of her vehicle as she contemplates how, with all the choices of her life, she managed to end up here, dealing with this at this moment in time. And so it was that we finally drove home, and we finally slept. And one of the first things that we did the following morning was not to go and get the rear light fixed. It was not to have a hearty breakfast. It was to get the book and the grocery bags the hell out of the truck. So, yes. So that's, I have a variety of police stories. That's one of the happier ones and less complicated in a way. But for right now, unfortunately, it looks like the technical issues are such we're going to need to actually end this stream for a moment and start it again. So I'm going to ask you guys, I apologize for this, but please be patient with us. We will get back online ASAFP, and then later on we'll kind of stitch everything together so it can be comfortably watched. But for the moment, I am signing off. We'll be back as quickly as possible. In the meantime, don't do anything that I wouldn't fantasize about.